Hey gamers, what's going on? It's me Logan. So recently, Forsaken added 7 Earthbound, or if you live in Japan, mother skins to the game. 6 are survivors and one of them is a killer, and as a person with pretty good knowledge on the game, I'd go over each skin and detail each of their references. But before I start, I want to go over a few things. For one, I'm going to try to keep this video spoiler friendly for the people who haven't played Earthbound or Mother 3 yet. However, if I eventually do have to go over a reference that spoils the game, I may have to do so. And finally, I might miss 1 or 2 references that I just couldn't find or don't know about. If that's the case, please let me know in the comments and I'll make a pinned comment updating this list. Alright, with that out of the way, let's review some skins. First up is a Lucas skin for Noob, who is the main character from Mother 3. The skin has a decent amount of references, so let's get into it. When you buy the skin for the first time, text appears saying, "Maybe I should have gone with Klaus," which can appear in the game if you decide to go to Lucas's house in the daytime during Chapter 2, and talking to him makes him say this exact same thing. The Forsaken render for this skin looks to be Lucas's render from Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and the background looks to be Taz at Melee Village as well. The skin also plays a unique sound when you use the Ghost Burger ability as well. It plays the spooky sound from Earthbound that's played throughout many times in the game. Here, take a listen. And that's it for the Lucas skin. Not a whole lot of references in this one, unlike the other ones coming up. Next up is a Ness skin for Shedletsky, who is the main character from Earthbound. I bet a lot of you guys watching know Ness from the Super Smash Bros. Games, as Ness appears in every single one unlike Lucas. Alright, let's get into it. When you buy the Ness skin for the first time, text can appear saying, "It's been a long road getting here," which is something Ness says in the Lumine Hall area, where he collects the 7th of the 8 melodies. The Forsaken render for the skin is also Ness's iconic render from Smash Ultimate, and the background is One, which is the first town in Earthbound. Also, something interesting about this skin is that Shedletsky also wears a Franklin badge, which in Earthbound reflects lightning-based attacks. However, it's purely cosmetic. It can't reflect projectiles in Forsaken, which would be pretty broken for the survivors and pretty unfair for the killers. Alright, now let's look at some abilities now. The sword is replaced by a baseball bat, which is Ness's main weapon in Earthbound. Okay, now for the sounds. The startup for the bat swing plays the sound for when you equip a piece of equipment in Earthbound, and when the swinging animation is done, it plays the sound for when you hurt an enemy in Earthbound, and if the bat connects into the killer, it plays the smash or critical hit attack that's heard in Earthbound as well. And here are all those sound effects I just mentioned. Shedletsky also now pulls out a burger instead of the normal fried chicken, since a burger is one of the main recovery items in Earthbound. And this also plays some new sounds. Startup once again being the item equip sound in Earthbound. When Shedletsky is eating the burger, it plays the food item eating sound. And when the animation ends, it plays the sound for when a status ailment is healed in Earthbound as well. And I'll play all those sounds right now. Alright, and that's a wrap for the Ness skin. Now let's move on to Paula. Next up is a Paula skin for Dusekkar, which is your second permanent party member in Earthbound. When you buy this skin for Dusekkar, text appears saying, "Can you hear me calling you?" which references when, after you beat the first Sanctuary boss in Earthbound, if you decide to stay at a hotel, Paula reaches out to Ness to say that she is kidnapped, and she says this line. The Forsaken render doesn't seem to be based on anything official, but the background of this is Tucson, which is the second town in the game. Another not so small detail about one of these skins is that Dusekkar now has a frying pan, which is Paula's main weapon in Earthbound. The Jeff skin for Chance has something similar, but we'll get to that later. Also, Dusekkar has a new idle animation as well, which looks like Paula's official render from Earthbound as well, so yeah. Dussekkar's two abilities now play new sounds as well. The startup for spawn protection now plays the item equipment sound again, and then when the shield is active, it plays the face distorter sound from the end of Earthbound. So yeah. Next up is the Plasma Beam ability, and the startup is yet again the item equipment sound from Earthbound. But when the beam is fired, it plays the bass sound for PK Thunder in Earthbound. So yeah, take a listen. And yeah, that's it for Paula. So now we can move on to the final survivor skin from Earthbound. Next up is a Jeff skin for Chance, and is your third permanent party member in Earthbound, and is my favorite survivor skin out of all the Earthbound skins. Or I just love gambling as Chance. Yeah. When you buy this skin for Chance, the text that appears says, "I came because you called me," which appears in the game when you meet Jeff for the first time and he joins your party. The Forsaken render is Jeff's render from Super Smash Bros. Brawl, even though Jeff has an official Earthbound render. However, this render is undeniably pretty cool, so I don't mind. It took me a little digging to find out what the background for this render was. However, it's actually concept artwork for Winters in Earthbound, so that's pretty interesting. Also, the skin comes with a new gun for Chance, and it's actually the NES Zapper accessory that's used for Duck Hunt. Moving on from that are the unique sounds for this skin. And when you flip the coin, it plays the sound for when and you miss an attack in Earthbound. And when you land on heads or tails, it plays the stat increase and decrease sounds from Earthbound respectively. Now for the gun, which has 3 new sounds for the startup, firing, and misfire. The startup for the gun plays the item equipment sound from Earthbound. When the gun is fired, it plays the beginning sound for PK Fire, which is a move that Jeff can use. And when Chance does a misfire, it plays the sound for when a party member takes mortal damage in Earthbound. Alright, we just got one more ability to go over before we move on to the next skin. Okay, so finally, for the reroll ability, the sound for when your health increases in Earthbound is played. Okay, well, that concludes all the Earthbound skins. So now I can talk about Mother 3 for the rest of the video. Alright, moving on. Next up is a Flint skin for 007N7, or just N7, which I'll be referring to him as. Flint is the main protagonist for Chapter 1 in Mother 3 and isn't playable anywhere else in the game. When you buy this skin for N7, the text reads, "Geez, you're persistent," which is a line Flint says at the very end of the game in Mother 3. As for the Forsaken render, it's based on this certain sprite where Flint tips his hat in Mother 3, which is just amazing, man. And this guy's background is Tazmily Village from Mother 3 as well, just like Lucas. Unfortunately, this skin has no custom sound effects, which kinda stinks. Well, at least we got a cowboy skin for N7. That's undeniably pretty cool. Alright, let's move on to Duster. The last survivor skin I'm gonna be covering for this video is a Duster skin for Taph, who was the main protagonist in Chapter 2 of Mother 3, and as a supporting party member in Chapter 1 and Chapter 5 onwards. The text when you buy this skin appears to be, "Whatever happens, I'll be there to help you." Alright, so I don't know where in Mother 3 Duster actually says this, and I don't feel like playing Mother 3 for the 4th time just to see where Duster says this. If someone out there knows where Duster says this in game, please let me know so I can make a update confirming where this is from. Okay, let's move on. The Forsaken render isn't anything special, I think. And the background is one from Earthbound, which is weird because Duster doesn't appear in Earthbound. I think a more fitting background would be Oso Castle, but I mean, it's just a background, so yeah. The Subspace Trip Mine ability for Taph plays some new sounds. When Taph launches the Trip Mine, it plays the sound for when a party member receives a possessed status effect in Earthbound. And when this thing explodes, it plays the fired a beam attack sound that some enemies in Earthbound have. That's it for Taph. However, I forgot to include this in the original script in my video, and I feel it's necessary to bring up. When any survivor with a Earthbound or Mother 3 skin equipped receives a damage over time status effect, like bleeding, fire, and poison, the sound for when a party member takes normal damage in Earthbound plays. Okay, now we can move on to the Masked Man. And finally, we have a Masked Man skin for Cool Kid, and oh gosh, this skin is absolutely beautiful. Okay, this is gonna sound biased coming from a person who's played Mother 3, but I genuinely believe this is one of the best skins for Cool Kid. Okay, let's waste no time and get into these references. When you buy the Masked Man skin, text appears saying, "Not even a fragment of life remains inside it," which is a line from Master Porky at the end of Mother 3 before initiating his boss fight. Moving on, the Forsaken render looks to be the Masked Man's battle sprite from Mother 3 as well. The background also seems to give off the same vibes as the final cave area from the end of Mother 3 as well. As for the abilities, a lot is changed. When Cool Kid does a punch, it plays the sound for when an enemy starts their turn in Earthbound. And when the hit connects with a survivor, it plays the sound for when an enemy is attacked in Earthbound. Corrupt Nature receives a visual change, with the projectile now being a yellow orb, which replicates one of the Masked Man's attacks, in which he uses an arm cannon. The first frame of Corrupt Nature now plays the counter PSI unit from Earthbound as well, and then after that, it plays one of 3 sounds of TK Flash as well. Cool Kid is given the Masked Man's sword when he hits a player with Walk Speed Override, which is another one of the Masked Man's attacks, this time utilizing his sword. Also, at the start of Walk Speed Override, the Gygus breaking down sound plays, and 2 new sounds play depending on if you hit or miss with Walk Speed Override. Missing plays the missed and attack sound from Earthbound, and landing the attack plays the smash or critical hit sound. Finally, for pizza delivery, Cool Kid now summons 2 pig masks, which are both enemies in Mother 3, and the commander for these pig masks is the Masked Man. When the pig masks are called in, the first frame plays the sound for when certain enemies call for help in Earthbound. And when these guys rise up from the ground, the sound of Brainshock Omega plays. Finally, the Masked Man skin received a custom chase theme, and I'm gonna be going over every single reference I think is notable and could find. Also, links in the description and pinned comment for y'all to listen to it. Alright, let's do this. Layer 1 plays the beginning sound from the battle against the Masked Man theme in Mother 3, which I'll play right now. I'm pretty sure this part plays some of the instruments from the Master Porky battle theme. I'll play part of it right now. Layer 3 is almost identical to the battle theme in Mother 3 called Strong One. It has two versions, but for this video, I'll play the Masked Man version. I couldn't gather much from the chase theme, but I think the end of section 1 plays the instruments from the DCMC theme in chapter 4. Take a listen. I'm pretty sure the second section is Strong One again, but the third section is what I believe is the sound of mysterious flying object from Mother 3. Well, that certainly was a lot of skins. I'm extremely happy that a game on Roblox recognizes that the Mother series exists, unlike one company in particular. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, consider liking the video and subscribing, and letting me know if you guys want more Forsaken related stuff like this. Alright, have a nice day or night, gamers.